Hi everybody, this is William Ward. For the week 7 project, I chose to look at the body of work of Darren Aronofsky. Uh, he is a confessed atheist, and he's a well-known filmmaker. But by looking at his body of work, you'd be confused as to see that he's an atheist because a lot of his films feature religious themes and imagery and ask questions about God, and which I find very interesting. And they express numerous examples of secular prayer, such as salvation, yearning, and lament. The three films that I chose out of his large body of work are The Wrestler, The Fountain, and Requiem for a Dream. So the first film that we'll look at is the 2008 film The Wrestler, which stars Mickey Rourke. This is probably one of Darren Aronofsky's most well received films due to its powerful performances from the actors. Now, the film follows Mickey Rourke's character, Randy Robinson, who is a fictional wrestler who was popular during the 1980s and is now washed up working an average job in a deli. He's also trying to make amends for his past mistakes, trying to reconcile with his estranged daughter, and just trying to find love. But the expression of prayer that's in this film is a prayer of salvation, but the tale is told in a very unconventional way by filmmaker Darren Aronofsky. Uh, what I love about this film is that Randy is searching for love and grace and forgiveness, but he doesn't realize that God is there. God is showing him grace throughout the film, and I just love that aspect. Like, for example, in a few moments I'll show a scene from the film that was discussed in my written portion of the assignment, and it was pointed out by one of my sources named Jeremy Rio, who there's a scene towards the middle of the film where Randy's talking to Cassidy, an exotic dancer who he has romantic feelings for, but the way Darren Aronofsky frames the shot is very interesting because above Randy's head there is a sign that says Jesus is Lord over top of his head. And over Cassidy's head, who's again an exotic dancer, there's clothing by her head. And I think that's a very subtle way of just mentioning what the characters need without actually stating it. So let's take a look.
I want you to give this to your little guy. It's a Randy the Ram action figure. Tell him not to lose it. It's a $300 collector's item.
Really?
No. Come on. Hey.
The next film is The Fountain, which is also directed by Darren Aronofsky and it stars Hugh Jackman. This is a very spiritual film, and in my opinion, I think this is probably Aronofsky's most spiritual religious film out of his entire body of work. The film is a powerful expression of yearning, and that's seen through the character of Tom Hugh Jackman, who is desperately trying to find the cure to brain cancer to save his wife, and he believes the cure is in the Fountain of Youth, or in another storyline in the film, through the Tree of Life, as seen in the Garden of Eden. Now, this film is very interesting because, again, it asks very human questions. It asks, where is God during our time of struggle? And it shows Tom really yearning and crying out to God, where are you? And I think that's a very powerful statement. As Josh Larson states in the book, Movies of Prayer, that's the fundamental question of science fiction is, are you there, God? It's us, humans. We need answers. And that's what this film is about, with Tom just searching and desperately trying to find this answer and this love that he's been searching for. And it's also interesting that his wife she's content with her condition. She's fine with passing away, and she constantly tries to tell him that he should spend time with her before she goes, but he refuses. He's so obsessed with trying to find a cure. And I think again that shows how we're yearning in a wrong way, or expressing yearning in a wrong way, as stated by Josh Larson. He used the example of Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz. She's searching for something, she's seeking, but she's seeking in a wrong place. And for her, she's looking to the wizard to give her answers. And Tom, he's looking to his own self, his own efforts to find a cure. So I found that interesting. Also, the film features So very powerful imagery and an impressive score. I'm going to show the last scene of the film where Tom actually reaches the tree of life, and I think it's just something powerful about that scene and imagery where we see him being washed over by this bright light, and he's just coming face to face with what I believe with God. So let's take a look at that clip. The final film that we'll look at is Requiem for a Dream, which stars Jared Leto, Marlon Wayans, and Jennifer Connelly. The film follows the lives of three young adults, Harry, Marion, and Tyrone, who are all addicted to drugs, heroin, cocaine, weight loss pills, and more. The film is a very brutal, disturbing, and unflinching look at the life of a drug addict and the lengths they'll go to get their next fix. But the expression of prayer is clear, and it's lament. The characters are expressing sorrow, and they're crying out to God, and they're having dreams of a better life, but they're stuck in their own cycle of self destruction. And unfortunately, the movie ends badly for all three characters, with Harry, the main character, ultimately losing his arm due to having an infection from all of the heroin injections.
Who's that? She'll be sent for. She'll come. No?
No, she won't.
She'll come.
As we saw by looking at the body of work of a secular filmmaker such as Darren Aronofsky, secular films can express prayers such as themes of yearning, lament, and a prayer of salvation. And I think as Christian filmmakers, we can learn from secular filmmakers. We can tell unconventional stories that just don't cater to the church going crowd, and not beat people over the head with the gospel, but we can be more inclusive so people will be more open to hearing the word and maybe potentially coming to Christ themselves. So I really enjoyed just exploring how secular filmmakers are making films that are sometimes better than what Christian filmmakers are making. So hopefully my goal as an aspiring film producer is to make content that glorifies Christ, but also in a way that's more inclusive and interesting and helps people. So again, thank you for your time. I really enjoyed this assignment, and I hope to see you all in the future.